I sang in a little school choir in Hinenman, but I was always the one left out because I used to do wrestling as well. And I'd always on performance Saturdays when they had the choir concerts, I'd be at wrestling championships. My sister used to tease I sang my homework to myself when I studied. She's got a little tape recorder tape of me learning gezondheidsleer, singing it to myself to memorize it. So I might have started there. The Drakensberg Boys Choir, they came to our little town and did a concert there, and in the half-time break, Bunny Krishnashibotha, the conductor, said there'll be auditions afterwards for boys between this and this ages. And we were 4 or 5 boys from the town sitting in a row, and we dared each other as a joke to go for an audition afterwards. And Bunny turned around and said, "All right, who's here for the auditions?" And the other 3 bolted out the back of the room, and I was standing there with my mouth full of teeth and sang and got in. And I went to Drakensberg Boys Choir School for about 4 years, but went to normal school again after that, played a bit of sports. I took singing lessons on the side with Professor Van Anel here as a hobby and studied law, but then hated the law, and eventually he said, well, you should consider taking singing up as a professional job. Prof Nel was great inspiration. He's got the most fantastic voice, and hearing what he could do and things, and him saying, well, you know, you'll be able to do things similar, and hearing what he did when he was over in Europe and things was a great motivation for me. I have a friend who was at Rakis with me, and he was studying at the Royal College at the time while I was still here, and he suggested, well, why don't you try an audition over there and see where it leads to? And then I auditioned there and got a scholarship to go, and that's how I ended up in England. At the moment, I don't enjoy modern things that much, just because I want to dig myself in the proper old school repertoire first and develop my technique before trying to do things which quite a lot of the time demands you to do different things with your voice than you would necessarily do singing Puccini or Verdi or Mozart. So at the moment I try to kind of stick to Mozart mostly because I'm a young singer, and that's healthy to sing when you're young. I love the sensation of singing, the way you feel when you're singing, and I love the kind of physical act of singing very much. I sometimes, the business itself sometimes scares me, the fact that you've got to be away from home so much. I'm quite a shy person as well, so I don't like all the fancy do's afterwards in the party so much. So that was something I needed to get used to. But then the great things were you get to sing with incredible artists, people who are able to emote incredibly on stage while still singing technically perfectly. Something like this is great, the Standard Bank Award, because it's not a competition, it's not based on a race or anything like that. It's trying to enhance the art form, it's trying to encourage young singers to take it up and enjoy it, or to try and do it at a higher level. And so I think that's a really wonderful thing, especially in South Africa, where the arts has often kind of been in the back of the queue when it comes to funding and stuff like that. It's a great door kind of opening into South Africa, giving me a chance to perform at the Grahamstown Festival as an established artist now, as a kind of professional artist, not studying anymore, and kind of the first door into being able to give something back to South Africa. So in terms of that, it's a great opportunity. I received a talent. God's given me a voice to sing. Because God's given me a voice doesn't mean I have to sing. I could do anything else, but I think He's given me a voice for a purpose, for a reason, so I can be useful to Him. That's the reason, from a bigger picture reason why I'm singing, and from my own selfish reasons for singing. I love the sensation of singing. It's great to see the emotion you can get out of other people by sharing yourself, your voice, and your emotions with somebody in a kind of high art form.